Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge of Friends. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. Today we're gonna start with your operating system class, and this is the operating system class where OS you can say that in the short form. And this is the first lecture of operating system, and now we're gonna start with your unit 1. This is introduction to operating system. As a demand of a single student that we had start with OS because they want to study your operating system here. So unit 1 is introduction to operating system. So with reference to the introduction of operating system, the first you have to understand what is operating system. Before that, अगर आप हमारे चैनल फर्स्ट टाइम देख रहे हो या अभी तक आपने हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, सो इट्स अ रिक्वेस्ट कि आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो सो दैट हम जो भी वीडियोस डालें वो आपके पास सबसे पहले पहुँचे. एंड सेकेंडली, अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो प्लीज़ हमारे वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करो सो दैट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग के पास वीडियो पहुँचे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसका यूटिलाइजेशन भी कर सकें. ना टॉकिंग अबाउट द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, अगर हम ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की बात करते हैं तो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम क्या होता है. ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज़ अ प्रोग्राम. ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एक प्रोग्राम है दैट कंट्रोल्स द एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन प्रोग्राम. इट इज़ एन इंटरफेस बिटवीन एप्लीकेशन एंड हार्डवेयर. सो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम क्या होता है, बेसिकली ये एक प्रोग्राम है जो कि आपका पूरा एग्जीक्यूशन, जो भी एप्लीकेशन का एग्जीक्यूशन होता है उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए वो पूरा प्रोसेस को कंट्रोल करता है. और दिस इज़ द इंटरफेस ऑल्सो, दिस इज़ द इंटरमीडिएट पाथ ऑल्सो बिटवीन द एप्लीकेशन and the hardware. That all are known as operating system. Once again, I was just repeating the what is operating system. Operating system is a program that controls the execution of application program. It is an interface between application and hardware. This is the reason that I have made you very short and sharp and very accurate definition of all the things which we discussed here, and starting with the operating system, so that the subject is much pretty tougher than next of the other subjects. So this is also important, so you can write it down all this information that we are giving here. Now talking about operating system, with respect to the operating system we have to discuss about components of operating system. What are the components of operating system? So there are 5 components of operating system. The first component is process management, where all the process from input to the output, all the process has handled by the process management. The file management, all the related file that were uploaded, downloaded, all these files were managed by the file management. This is the another component of operating system. Third is your secondary management. This includes the management that is secondary and that comes under the secondary management. The fourth one is main memory management. Main memory management, where any main memory management, they manage the main memory as well. And इनपुट आउटपुट सिस्टम मैनेजमेंट, इनपुट से लेके आउटपुट जितने भी सिस्टम मैनेजमेंट्स होते हैं दैट दे आर मैनेज बाय अ इनपुट आउटपुट सिस्टम. सो एट लास्ट वी कैन से दैट देयर आर 5 components of operating system. The first is your process management, second is your file management, third is secondary management, fourth is main memory management, and fifth is your input output management. Now we'll discuss over the next line that we have to discuss here. It is related to their components as well as with their operating system. So the operating system is responsible for activities in connection with process management and process creation and our deletion, process suspension and resumption. बेसिकली अगर हम ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की बात करते हैं, जो कि मैंने यहाँ पे आपको फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट बताया था प्रोसेस मैनेजमेंट का, तो अगर हम उसके रेफरेंस में बात करते हैं तो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बेसिकली रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है उन एक्टिविटीज़ का जो कि प्रोसेस मैनेजमेंट से कनेक्ट होते हैं. और प्रोसेस, चाहे वो प्रोसेस क्रिएट हो रहा हो, चाहे वो प्रोसेस डिलीट हो रहा हो, चाहे वो प्रोसेस सस्पेंशन में फॉर्म में हो रहा हो, चाहे वो फॉर्म आपका प्रोसेस रिजम्पशन है, तो कोई भी हो, चाहे वो प्रोसेस क्रिएशन हो, प्रोसेस डिलीशन हो, प्रोसेस सस्पेंशन हो, प्रोसेस रिजम्पशन हो, सभी वो आपका रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम उन सारी एक्टिविटीज़ के. The second is your memory management. Memory management क्या होता है? This is the another type that we had discussed about the main memory management. So in memory management, the operating system is responsible for keeping track of which part of memory are currently being and used, and by when, deciding which process to load when memory space becomes available, allocating and deallocating the memory space as needed. So if I'm talking about the memory management, so now we'll discuss what is memory management. The operating system, जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है जितना भी रिकॉर्ड होता है डेटा का, जितना भी मेमोरी का ट्रैक करता है सारे पार्ट्स ऑफ मेमोरी को। उसके बाद वो करेंटली उस जितना यूज़ कर रहा है, कब यूज़ किया, कब वो क्या आपके प्रोसेस ले रहा है लोड करने के लिए, सारे जितने भी मेमोरी स्पेस होते हैं वो सारे अवेलेबल होते हैं, एलोकेट होते हैं, प्लस री एलोकेट होते हैं। जितनी भी चीज़ें होती हैं मेमोरी के अंदर, मेमोरी स्पेस जितनी भी रिक्वायर्ड होती है, उस सारी चीज़ आपका मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट ही देखता है। नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट इज़ योर सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट। सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट की अगर हम बात करते हैं विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट, सो सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट होता है आपका द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर फ्री स्पेस। तो सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट में जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है तो वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है आपका फ्री स्पेस पे, कि कितना फ्री स्पेस है, कितना फ्री स्पेस नीडेड है, कितना फ्री स्पेस रिक्वायर्ड है, कितना फ्री स्पेस एक्चुअली में परफॉर्मेंस के बात है, वो सारी चीज़ के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। फ्री स्पेस मैनेजमेंट एंड स्टोरेज एलोकेशन एंड डिस्क शेड्यूलिंग। तो आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज मैनेजमेंट के लिए तीन चीज़ों पे रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है। पहला होता है फ्री स्पेस मैनेजमेंट, सेकेंड इज योर स्टोरेज एलोकेशन, कहाँ पे स्टोरेज एलोकेट करेगा, एज वेल एज डिस्क शेड्यूलिंग। डिस्क शेड्यूलिंग आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का एक बहुत ही ब्रॉड और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। व्हेन विल डिस्कस इन द फर्दर क्लासेस देन आई विल टेल यू ऑल अबाउट योर डिस्क शेड्यूलिंग. Now coming to the next point that we have here, the other management is your input output system management. So in with respect to the input output system management, the operating system must hide all the peculiarities of underlying input output devices. तो input output system management की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है वो सारे ही जितने भी प्रिक्योलिटीज़ आपके होते हैं इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइस के, वो सारे ही आपको उसको हाइड करता है। तो दैट वाज इनपुट आउटपुट सिस्टम मैनेजमेंट्स वर्क. Now the next one is your file management, and the last one, the operating system is responsible for a file creation, deletion, directing creation, directory creation and deletion, support of primitives for manipulating the files and directories, and mapping files onto the secondary storage. तो फाइल मैनेजमेंट जो होता है वो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम रिस्पॉन्सिबल करता है। वो फाइल चाहे वो क्रिएट हो रही हो फाइल, चाहे वो आपकी डिलीट हो रही हो, या फिर आपकी जो डायरेक्टरी है वो क्रिएट हो रही हो या फिर वो भी डिलीट हो रही हो, फिर चाहे आपको जितने भी आपके प्रिमिटिव्स जो आपके मैनिपुलेटिंग फाइल्स होते हैं या डायरेक्टरीज होते हैं उसको मैपिंग करता है उन फाइल्स की सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज में। सो मैपिंग भी क्या होता है, दिस इज ऑल्सो द इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट विद रेफरेंस टू द डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम एंड of course operating system. If there will be a topic, so I will be always giving you and I will be explaining you that for sure. सो नाउ नीड ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, क्या ज़रूरत थी कि जो हमें ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की ज़रूरत पड़ी और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को यूज़ करने की ज़रूरत पड़ी और हम लोग अब यूज़ भी कर रहे हैं। सो नीड ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज़ नीडेड। ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इसलिए नीडेड है बिकॉज इट अलाउज अ प्रोग्राम टू रन ऑन मल्टीपल डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ हार्डवेयर। ये अलाउ करता है प्रोग्राम को कि वो मल्टीपल डिफरेंट हार्डवेयर्स पे वो उसको रन कर सके। An operating system a provider a large between a program and a hardware. तो ये आपको एक ये जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है ये आपको एक लेयर है जो आपकी प्रोग्राम के और हार्डवेयर के बीच में एक लेयर है. दिस इज़ द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम that is enable to program to use the standard interface no matter what hardware is used, as well as the operating system translate the software cable calls to the hardware calls for that particular piece of hardware. तो बेसिकली अगर हम बात करते हैं विद रेफरेंस टू द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की क्यों ज़रूरत पड़ी, तो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की नीड इसीलिए पड़ी क्योंकि वो अलाउ करता है प्रोग्राम को रन करने के लिए मल्टीपल डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ हार्डवेयर के लिए। उसके साथ साथ ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एक ऐसा है जो आपका एक लेयर है बिटवीन द प्रोग्राम एंड द हार्डवेयर, जो कि आपको ये बताता है दिखाता है एक प्रोग्राम को अच्छे से स्टैंडर्ड इंटरफेस में यूज़ करने के लिए। चाहे आप कोई भी हार्डवेयर यूज़ कर रहे हो उससे मैटर नहीं करता, वो आपको ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम जो है वो ट्रांसलेट करता है उस पर्टिकुलर सॉफ्टवेयर की कॉल की वो सॉफ्टवेयर क्या कहना चाह रहा है, क्या कॉल करना चाह रहा है, और एज वेल एज टू दैट पर्टिकुलर हार्डवेयर कि वो भी क्या कॉल करना चाह रहा है, एंड दैट फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर पीस ऑफ हार्डवेयर इट कैन बी यूज. That's the reason why we are need of where we have required of operating system, and now we are using that very much. The operating system is responsible for managing the all resources. Operating system जो है वो responsible होता है आपका manage करने के लिए सारे ही resources को. A portion of the operating system is in main memory. This portion of operating system is known as kernel. अब operating system की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो this is very responsible. ये responsible होता है managing सारे ही resources को manage करने के लिए. चाहे वो कोई भी एक पोर्शन हो आपका, अगर मेन मेमोरी में कोई पोर्शन है तो उसको भी वो मैनेज करता है सारे रिसोर्सेज को, और इसी पोर्शन को जो कि मैनेज करता है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की मेन मेमोरी को, इसे हम कर्नल बोलते हैं. सो यू कैन राइट इट डाउन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ कर्नल फ्रॉम हियर. Now moving on to the next point that we have with reference to the need of operating system. So user program and the data is also stored in remaining parts of the memory. तो जो user program होता है या जो data होता है वो stored होता है आपका remaining parts, जो memory के remaining parts है वहाँ पे stored होता है. Allocation of main memory is controlled by operating system. जो allocation होता है कि कहाँ पे main memory का allocation होगा वो सारा control करा जाता है by operating system. एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ द मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट हार्डवेयर. मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट हार्डवेयर की हेल्प के साथ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम उसको एलोकेट करता है कि कहाँ पे आपका यूज़र प्रोग्राम जो है, जो डेटा है वो कहाँ पे स्टोर होगा रिमेनिंग मेमोरी में. वो सारी चीज़ें जो है वो मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट हार्डवेयर के थ्रू यूज़ किया जाता है बाय ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. Now moving on with the next point that we have reference to the need of operating system here. So in input output device is controlled by OS. Input output device जो भी है होते हैं वो operating system के through ही control होते हैं, and it decides when an input output device can be used by a program in execution. Processor is one type of resource and operating system control the execution of user program on the processor. तो input output device जो है वो control की जाती है by an operating system, जो कि वो decide करता है कि जब भी input output जो है आपका use हो रहा है program के through. सो इनपुट आउटपुट जो डिवाइस होती है दैट इज़ यूज्ड बाय द प्रोग्राम इन एग्जीक्यूशन. एग्जीक्यूशन एक प्रोग्राम है जो कि एग्जीक्यूशन के टाइम पे यूज़ किया जाता है एग्जीक्यूशन प्रोसेसर के लिए. ये एक टाइप ऐसा रिसोर्स है जहाँ पे ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कंट्रोल करता है पूरा एग्जीक्यूशन को, जहाँ पे आपका यूज़र प्रोग्राम जो है वो प्रोसेसर के थ्रू यूज़ किया जाता है. ओके, एंड द मॉडर्न ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम अलाउज मल्टीपल प्रोग्राम्स. जो मॉडर्न होता है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का वो अलाउ करता है मल्टीपल प्रोग्राम्स टू रन एट अ सेम टाइम. एक सेम टाइम पे रन करने के लिए programs को. If multiple users are using computer, then this is need of managing and protecting the memory, input output devices and the other resources. मॉडर्न ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वो अलाउ करता है मल्टीपल प्रोग्राम्स को रन करने के लिए एक सेम टाइम पे, जहाँ पे मल्टीपल जो यूज़र्स होते हैं वो यूज़ करते हैं कंप्यूटर को, और वो उनकी जो मैनेजिंग और प्रोटेक्टिंग मेमोरी होती है वो दोनों को ही प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं, मैनेज करते हैं. इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइस जो है और जो अदर रिसोर्सेज सारे कंट्रोल करते हैं. ना मूविंग ऑन विद द मेजर फंक्शंस ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. अभी नीड क्या थी, रिक्वायरमेंट क्या थी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की, दैट वी हैड डिस्कस्ड हियर. Now we'll discuss what are the major functions of operating system. क्या major functions हैं operating system के, why we are using these operating system, why what are the functions they are performed by us, for that we are using this. So major functions of operating system. The major functions of an operating system, so there are the three types of major functions. The first is efficient use of a computer. किस तरह से आप उसका efficient use कर सकते हैं पूरे कंप्यूटर का, ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम आपको एक फंक्शन प्रोवाइड करता है. सेकेंड इज यूज़र कन्वीनियंस. यूज़र का कन्वीनियंस होता है, यूज़र उसको अपने कन्वीनियंस के हिसाब से यूज़ कर सकता है. ओके, तो इसलिए भी हम इसका फंक्शन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का यूज़ करते हैं. एबिलिटी टू इवॉल्व, और इसकी एबिलिटी होती है कि ये इवॉल्व कर सके. तो ये जो तीन आपके हैं, एफिशिएंट यूज़ ऑफ कंप्यूटर सिस्टम एंड यूज़र कन्वीनियंस एंड एज वेल एज एबिलिटी टू इवॉल्व, दीज वर द थ्री मेन functions related to the operating system. So now we'll discuss the first function here, efficient use of a computer system. क्या efficient use है आपका computer system का, जिसमें पहला point है आपका, for efficient use of resource it must be monitored by an operating system प्रॉपर शेड्यूलिंग ऑफ रिसोर्स इज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड। अगर हमें एफिशिएंट यूज़ करना है रिसोर्स का, तो ये आपका जो सारी चीज़ें हैं वो सारी मॉनिटर्ड की जानी चाहिए ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम के थ्रू, एज वेल एज उसके साथ साथ आपकी जो प्रॉपर शेड्यूलिंग होती है रिसोर्स की वो भी रिक्वायर्ड है अगर आपको एफिशिएंट यूज़ करना है कंप्यूटर सिस्टम का। नाउ फॉर द सेकेंड पॉइंट दैट वी हैव, कंप्यूटर कंटेन डिफरेंट टाइप्स रिसोर्सेज। तो आपका जो कंप्यूटर है वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिसोर्सेज को कंटेन करता है, लाइक जैसे कि सीपीयू, सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट, मेमोरी एंड इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइस एक्सेट्रा। तो अगर हम कंप्यूटर की बात करते हैं तो वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिसोर्स को इंक्लूड करता है, कंटेन करता है, जिसमें से आपका एक सीपीयू, सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट, दूसरा आपका मेमोरी है, थर्ड आपका इनपुट आउटपुट डिवाइस है। तो ये सारी चीज़ों को डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रिसोर्सेज को यूज़ करता है, कंटेन करता है। प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड ऑन द दीज रिसोर्स टू अवॉइड द ओवरहेड। तो ओवरहेड ना हो, इस वजह से हमें एक पूरा प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग चाहिए होती है, जिसकी वजह से ओवरहेड ना हो सके, क्योंकि अलग अलग डिवाइसेस हैं तो ओवरहेड होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं। फॉर दैट सेक टू अवॉइड दिस वी हैव नीड अ प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग फॉर दिस। एज पर द रिसोर्स शेड्यूलिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड। जिस जिस हिसाब से जितना रिसोर्स चाहिए, जो कोई सा रिसोर्स चाहिए, उस रिसोर्स के हिसाब से ही हमें शेड्यूलिंग भी रिक्वायर्ड होती है, कि हम रिक्वायर्ड करें कि किस टाइप में, किस पहले प्रोसेस में क्या आएगा, दूसरे प्रोसेस में क्या आएगा, थर्ड प्रोसेस में क्या आएगा। उसके लिए शेड्यूलिंग भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्ले करती है रोल, जो कि एफिशिएंट यूज ऑफ कंप्यूटर सिस्टम में है। नाउ मूविंग ऑन विद नेक्स्ट। Second is your user convenience here. User convenience is affected by a computing environment. यूज़र कन्वीनियंस जो है वो अफेक्ट करता है आपका बेसिकली कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट को ऑफ दैट कंप्यूटर सिस्टम। The computing environment is comprised of computer system. It interfaces with the other system and the nature of the computation preferred by its user. If I'm talking about the user convenience जो है वो आपको अफेक्ट करता है कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट को, कोई भी कंप्यूटर सिस्टम है। इसीलिए जो कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट होता है वो कंप्राइज करता है एक आपके नंबर ऑफ कंप्यूटर सिस्टम्स पे, जहाँ पे आपका वो इंटरफेस एज दूसरे सिस्टम के लिए एक इंटरफेस होता है, जहाँ पे हम जो नेचर होता है कंप्यूटेशन का उसको परफॉर्म करवा सके, जो कि यूज़र परफॉर्म करवाना चाहता है। The next point for the user convenience, computer architecture and use change the computing environment of the system. तो बेसिकली कंप्यूटर जो आर्किटेक्चर होता है, किस टाइप का आर्किटेक्चर है कंप्यूटर का, और उसके साथ जो हम उस तरह से यूज़ करते हैं कंप्यूटिंग के लिए, उसके कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट जो सिस्टम का होता है वो चेंज हो जाता है। जैसे जैसे कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर चेंज हो जाता है, वैसे जैसे उसका आपकी जो कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट होती है सिस्टम की वो भी चेंज हो जाती है। तो ठीक है, तो दैट इज़ द यूज़र कन्वीनियंस। फर्स्ट वी हैड डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द एफिशिएंट use of the computer, second is your user convenience, and the third is your ability to evolve. Now we'll discuss what are the ability to evolve regarding the operating system, why it is need of, and what are the functions, that major functions may efficient use of computer system, and the second one is your user convenience, and the third one is ability to evolve. An operating system should be constructed in such a way as to permit the effective development, testing, and introduction of new system function without at same time interfacing with services. एबिलिटी टू इवॉल्व में जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है वो कंस्ट्रक्ट किया जाए, इस तरह से कंस्ट्रक्ट किया जाए कि वो परमिट कर सके इफेक्टिव डेवलपमेंट को, साथ साथ वो टेस्टिंग के लिए इंट्रोडक्शन फॉर द न्यू सिस्टम फंक्शन, and without at the same time interfacing with the services. So these were the three major functions that should be evolved here. Now the next one is your resource manager. What are resource manager, how a resource manager is used, what are the functions of resource manager, that we'll discuss here. So for the reference to the resource manager, what is a resource manager? ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज टू एक्ट एज रिसोर्स मैनेजर। जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है इज टू एक्ट एज रिसोर्स मैनेजर। कभी कभी क्वेश्चन में पूछ लिया जाता है डिड रिसोर्स मैनेजर एक्ट्स एज अ रिसोर्स, सॉरी, did operating system acts as a resource manager? So that in that case the answer will be yes. Yes, operating system is to act as resource manager. Okay, so this has been asked in your question paper as well. A computer is a set of resource. एक computer जो है वो एक set of resource है. These resources provides various functions to the user. Functions like data movement, storing of data, and program operations on data are controlled by an operating system. With reference to the computer, the set of resources are there. Computer is a set of resource basically, and these resources provides a various function to those users that are using those computers. Even though functions like data movement हो सकता है, that it's store of data, हम जिस तरह से store करते हैं अपने डेटा को या प्रोग्राम ऑपरेशन को, even though the data are controlled by the operating system as well. The operating system is responsible for managing the all resource. Operating system responsible होता है सारे ही resource को manage करने के लिए. A portion of the operating system with main memory, the portion of those are called kernel. तो उस मेन मेमोरी का जो पोर्शन जो कि कंट्रोल किया जाता है, that is by the kernel only. That I had explained you before also about the kernel. Now moving on with the next, that with reference to the resource management that we have here. With reference to user program and the data is also stored in the remaining parts of the memory. So user जो program होता है वो data आपका stored किया जाता है remaining parts of the memory में. Allocation of the main memory is controlled by the operating system with the help of memory management hardware. Memory management hardware के through operating system control करता है, help करता है, manage करता है all the data that are stored through a operating system, that are managed by the operating system here. Input output device is controlled by the operating system, and it decided when an input output device can be used by a program. In execution processor is one type of resource, and operating system controls the execution of the user program on our processor. So basically input output device, if I'm talking about the input output device that are controlled by the operating system, and it decides what who will be input output devices that are used by a program in the execution, as well as the processor, the type of processor, the type of resources and operating system that are control and execute control that the execution of that particular user program on that particular process. With reference to the modern here, so modern operating system allows a multiple program to run at the same time. With reference to the modern operating system that allows multiple program to run at the same time. If multiple user are using the computer, then there is a need of managing and protecting the memory and input output device and the other resources as well. With reference to the modern operating system, if I'm talking about, there are the multiple programs that to be run at the same time, as well as that multiple users are using those those outer then, and of course in the case of that computer that they are executing, they are using, and with reference to the need of the managing and that particular protecting that particular memory, input output device and the other resource as well. So here is a sort of a operating system as a resource here. You can see that here the OS kernel is there, then the user area for the program and the data, and this is all are in main memory. So operating system kernel as well as user area for the program and the data, these all concluded in the main memory here. With reference to the input output controller 1, that is your of course keyboard, and input output controller 2, that is your of course printer, input output controller 3, that is of course mouse, and the input output controller 4, that is display. Input output controller, that is your of course the disk storage here. Okay, in the case of the disk storage, we have a processor 1, processor hashtag 1, and processor hashtag 2. And this is all in our computer system. So this is a main memory which consists of operating system kernel, user area for the for program and the data. This is concluding by a main memory, where input output controller 2, and input output controller 3, input output controller 4, input output controller 5, where the keyboard, printer, mouse, display, and the disk storage here, with having a processor, two processors, the processor 1 and processor 2, with having a in a computer system with reference to the OS as resource manager. Now talking about the resource management, some of the point here, resource management includes the sharing resource in the different way. We can share the resources in the different way, in the different manner, that comes under the resource manager management. Time and space are the two concepts of resource sharing when we are sharing the resources, okay, in terms of the resource management. So they are the two aspects, the two concepts that were, first is the time and the second, of course, they are space. Now we're dealing with time and space. What does time and space plays an important role with reference to the resource management when we are talking about reference to the OS here. So with reference to the time here, the time slot is allocated to each program. First one gets the use of the resource, then the another, and so on. Time slot is allocated to each of the program when they are giving a request to a particular resource management with reference to the operating system. So they are the same time slot, they are allocated to a particular program, to each and every individual program. First one gets to use of the resource, thus first it is requested by the first one, so it will be using, after using this particular program, that those resource, then after the second one will use, and the third one is used, and then fourth, and then so on. So this is what the time is, a time slots allocated to each program. First one gets to use the resource, then the another, and so on. With reference to the space here, so a space that consider the examples of main memory. In the terms of the consideration of related to the space is in the main memory. Main memory is normally divided up among several running programs, so each one can be a resident of that same time as well. Okay, so now reference to the difference between the interactive processing system and batch processing system. What are your interactive processing system and what are the batch processing system? So now we'll just gone through with a small way that you can understood about the interactive processing system as well as the batch processing system here. So now the difference between the interactive processing system and the batch processing system. So the first is interactive processing system. And with reference to the interactive processing system waited for input for you from user. To optimize the use of the computing resource, multiple users share time on these subjects. Basically, if I'm talking about the interactive processing system, these were the weighted by the input of from the users, and to optimize those use of the computing resource, multiple users shared time on these systems. The batch related to the batch processing system, the batch system processed a job in bulk with your predetermined inputs. So batch processing system are those systems which are predetermined, those they are processing their jobs in bulk, and they are predetermined inputs, okay, that are done under the batch processing system. With reference to the multi-programming and the time sharing system, what are multi-programming system? Basically, the multi-programming system are the multi-programming increases CPU utilization by organizing jobs so that the CPU always has one to execute. There are the multi-programming, it means that increases the CPU utilization when we are using the utilize CPU more than the other function, more than two programming, three programming, there are more than one programming, by organizing the jobs so that the CPU always has one to execute at least. Okay, with reference to the time sharing here, so here in this case of the time sharing system, the time sharing systems used a timer. Okay, time sharing system that is using the timer and scheduling algorithm to the rapidly cycle process through the CPU, giving each user a share of resource. In the case of a time sharing environment, they are giving you each resource by the having a share of that particular resource. At a particular time, you can share the resource by the different time of scheduling algorithm, according to the scheduling algorithm what we had proceed here. Now moving on with the next that we have here. Now, with related to the time processing that we had done differentiate between the interactive processing system, batch processing system, multi-programming system, as well as time sharing system. So now we are going to start with the real-time operating system. What are the real-time operating system here? Real-time system is one that must react to input and respond to them quickly. A real-time system has well-defined fixed time constants as well. If I'm talking about the real-time operating system, so real-time operating system is one that must react to input and responds toward them quickly. Whenever it gives you input, and you will have to react accordingly. And a real-time system has well-defined fixed time constant as well. Now, related to the next difference between the hard real time are of two types. First is your hard real time, and the second is your soft real time. So difference between the hard real time and the soft real time that we have here. The first one, with reference to the hard real time and the soft real time. With reference to the hard real time, the first point is hard real time response time is required. In the case of the hard real time, the response time is required. In the reference to the soft real time, soft response time is requested. Okay, so the here this is required also, and here it is also required. Hard response time is required, and here is also required. In the case of the hard real time, in the case of the soft real time, the time response time is required here in the case, and here in the case. Now, with reference to the second point, data integrity is short term. In the case of the hard real time, the data integrity is in the short term, and with reference to the soft real time, the data integrity is in the long term. So reference to the hard, it is the short term. Reference to the soft real time, that is in the long term. Size of the data file is a small or medium. In the case of the hard real time, that the data file of the size is very small or medium, and size of the data file is large, of course. So here in this case of the soft real time, the size of the data file would be large, and in the case of the hard real time, the data file should be in the small, or in the case of the medium only. Okay, so this is the differences between the two. And now the fourth point for this is peak load performance is predicted. So peak load performance is always be predictable, ki that in hard real time what will be the predictable peak load, and in the soft real time peak load performance is degraded. Okay, with reference to this, it is predictable, it is degraded. Now moving on with the next point that we have with reference to here, this is hard real time system have little laxity and generally provide a full deadline compliances. Basically, in the case of the hard real time system have a little laxity and generally provide full deadline compliances. In the case of the soft real time system, that soft real time system software are more flexible. These are more flexible, they have a greater laxity and have tolerate certain amounts of deadlines misses as well. Now, with reference to the next point that we have with reference to the hard real time and the soft real time here, related to the hard real-time safety critical systems are typically hard real-time system. Where we are talking about the safety critical system, these were the typical hard real-time system. With reference to the soft real-time, if I'm talking about Linux and many operating system provide soft real-time as well. Linux is the one, and many of the all operating systems that are providing the soft real-time as well, okay, to the system. Now moving on with the next that we have here. Next is your multi-processing operating system. What are the multi-processing operating system? In this seeing the world only, the multi-processing operating system, where you can understand here is an operating system that are using multi-process at a time, and these were known as multi-processing operating system. So here we're gonna see this multi-processor system means more than one processor in close communication. Basically, more than one processor are using in a close communication. All the processors shares common bus, and all the multiprocessors, those processors are working at a one time. They are using the same common bus, clock also the same, and memory and peripheral devices as well. So multiprocessor system is also called parallel system or tightly compiled system. So basically, in the case of the multiprocessor system, we can say that it would be more than one processor is closely in the communication, and all the processors share the common bus, clock, and memory and peripheral devices. Multiprocessor system is also called as parallel system or tightly coupled system. Okay, with reference to the multiprocessor here, if one processor fail, then the other processor should retrieve the interrupted process state, that so that the execution of the processor can be continued. If I'm talking about the one processor, for example, the one processor in a multi processor, the one processor failed, then the other processor should retrieve the interrupted process state, and that be executing the process that can be continued in the same base in the case of multiprocessor system. That was also known as the parallel system and the tightly coupled system as well. So they can ask you with reference to the multiprocessing operating system, if they say ask you about the parallel system or tightly coupled system or multiprocessing systems, then you have to state these sentences at once. Now moving on with the next, that we have your objectives of multiprocessor system. What are the objectives that are facing, what are the objectives that are done by the multiprocessor system here? So the first point with reference to the objective of multiprocessor system, the processor should support efficient context switching operation. In the case of the processors that should be support efficient context switching operation. It supports large physical address space and larger virtual address space. In the case of the multiprocessor, it supports the large physical address space as well as the large virtual address space too. In the case if one processor fails, then the other processor should be retrieve the interrupted process, that the execution of the process can be continued. That is the good advantages. Because of one failure, we can't terminate the processors. For the next point, the process communication mechanism should be provided and implemented in hardware as it becomes efficient or one easy. So basically, in the inter-process communication mechanism, that should be provided and implemented in the hardware as it becomes efficient and easy as well, with reference to the your objectives of multiprocessor system here. Now moving on with the next that we have here with reference to the objective of the multiprocessing, and now we're gonna discuss the next one here. So although in the case of next after multiprocessor, we are discussing multiprogramming operating system, then the formation of multiprogramming operating system with reference to the multitasking, and there are many lots of topic that we'll discuss here. And because the first unit is very much tougher as well as the lengthiest, so we'll discuss that in the next more classes. So class आज के लिए इतना ही. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on a comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once. Thank you.